The Super Eagles of Nigeria will battle the Zbonaya of Russia in less than 24 hours for their high-profile international friendly game. And I'm going to extensively talk from the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. From the camp of Stanley Nwabali, Eric Sekuchel, he has spoken extensively about a newbie in the Super Eagles of Nigeria's team to face the Zbonaya of Russia. A new player has decided to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria by pledging his international future for Nigeria. And we'll be talking about this newbie. Latest from the camp of Russian national team, a former coach of the team has spoken at length as to how he thinks the Super Eagles of Nigeria can play against the Zbonaya of Russia. Before I plunge into the intricacies of the stories, if you are new on this platform, please subscribe to the channel, hit on the post notification bell for more updates. Please don't forget to like the video and share to other social media platforms. My name still remains Solomon Kojasanse, your all-in-all nomenclature of the engineer's philosophy in sports, a Ghanaian who has declared his full support for Nigeria sports and have been given a Nigerian name on this platform. Is the only one, Solomon Chukwu Emeka. Leave your decent comments in the comment box for special shoutouts after my presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's delve into the intricacies of the stories. And to commence with is a camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria as they are gearing up for their high-profile international friendly game against the Zbonaya of Russia. But before I proceed from the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, let me digress to the camp of Stanley Nwabali. It was being reported by a Nigerian social media activist, Puja, that the Nigerian Football Federation, that is the NFF, have supported Stanley Nwabali for the barrier of experience, that is 20 million naira. When he converts it to Ghana cedis, it's around 130,458.97 Ghana cedis. To dollars, it's $12,775. And with this, he later came in to report that whatever he reported about the Nigerian Football Federation supporting Stanley Nwabali is false. It's some key players in the team that contributed in order to support their very own Stanley Nwabali. Let's look at the various tweets from Poja. The first tweets, and he retweeted. For the first tweet, he said, NFF has supported Super Eagles goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali with 20 million naira for his parents' burial ceremony. He was excused for the Russia trip because of this. You know that I've already reported to you on this platform. He later came in to tweet this. More details from this. Some senior players in the team raised this support fund for Nwabali for the barrier, not NFF. So that is the latest report coming in from the camp of Stanley Nwabali. Now let me proceed from the match between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Zbonaya of Russia. Let's look at the vivid description of the game as in the match details. And from now to tomorrow, you could see that a lot of things will happen. But let me just give you these details. The game is on Friday, that is tomorrow, 6th of June, 2025, at exactly 6 p.m. West African time. The 6 p.m. West African time is Nigeria time. So if you are in Ghana, it's 5 p.m. Ghana time and 7 p.m. South Africa time. So that is the latest coming in live on Afro Sport TV. So you can watch it live on Afro Sport TV. That is the latest coming in. That is Free TV channel 730. That is where you can watch the Super Eagles versus the Zbonaya. That is the latest coming in from the match details of the game. Whatever will transpire, Sportsfiller gets you posted. Now, let's look at the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Their head coach, Eric Sekuchel, ahead of the game, has spoken at length about a newbie in the team, Benjamin Frederick, who plays his club football for Brentford under 21. He was voted as Brentford Young Player of the Season. That is the 2024-2025 season. And he said, yes, the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Nigerian football community need to protect this young guy, and he termed him as the future of the team. This is how he was lyrical about Benjamin Fredericks. Let's have a look on our screens. He started by saying, I can say something, we need to protect him. That is Benjamin Frederick, because he played well, and the reality is for him to continue to improve and work hard, and we need to protect him because this is not the end. He continued by saying, he is a future of the national team, and I think he made a great game. That was a game against Jamaica. Initially, he wasn't part of the Super Eagles of Nigeria's game or squad for the 2025 Unity Cup tournament, but he came in as a result of the departure of Ahmed Musa and also the late arrival of Christiantus Uche. And just after that, he had his debut game against the Reggae Boys of Jamaica. So that was when Coach Eric Sekuchel needed to wax lyrical or speak effusively and enthusiastically about Benjamin Frederick. Let me proceed with the write-up. He said, he is a future of the team, as I've already stated, and I think he made a great game. But the reality, we considered 2 goals. This is the reality. He is a good player, but we took 2 goals, and his first role is defending. He has a lot of quality about technical skills. He is fast, so good, that is boy. Good boy, and a good player. So as you can see, he has waxed lyrical about Benjamin Frederick. So that is the latest coming in from the camp of Eric Sekuchel. And we're witnessing his game against, and I think this time around is going to be another 5-star performance against the Subonaya of Russia. So in the game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Subonaya of Russia, former head coach of the Russian national team, Anatoly Bashovets, has also spoken at length about the game. He needed to share his opinion, and he said, as a former coach of the Russian national team, yes, he has to tell them what to do in order to protect the team against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But the overview of everything is Nigeria national team, that is the Super Eagles, they play like Germany national team. That is how he can also state it in terms of similarities. Nigeria national team, the Super Eagles, play same like Germany national team. That is a football powerhouse. Let's have a look of what Bashovets Anatoly has to say about the game. He started by saying, I can say as a coach who led the USSR, that is Russian national team, against Nigeria, that this is a team that is associated with the German team in Europe, only in an African version. That is it. So Nigeria is the African version of Germany national team. They play power football, and the winner is the one who wins in single combats. There is such an English proverb. I think such experience will be useful for our players. The work done by Kappen, that is the head coach of the national team, that is the current head coach of the Russian national team, is thankless in terms of waiting for official matches. In many ways, it should be built on the future because there are all the reasons for this. The choice of such an opponent is very different from what was before. So that is it. And let me just tell you the theme of the game, as in how important the game is for Nigeria and that of Russian national team. We all know that the Super Eagles of Nigeria is using this game to gear up for their 2026 World Cup qualifiers somewhere in September and October. Same as is going to maintain Russian national team competitive exposure amid tournament suspension. So that is the latest coming in from the game. Still in the camp of Nigeria football and the Super Eagles, a newbie, let me say, a new player has declared his readiness to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria by pledging his international future to Nigeria. He was born to a Nigerian father and also a Ugandan mother in England, but he says he's now fit to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. His name is Ovi Ejeyi. Ovi Ejeyi. He joined Arsenal youth side at the age of 8 and had his pro contracts with the team at the age of 21. Currently, he's 22 to 23 years. He was born on the 4th of April 2003, and that is the latest as to how he thinks he's now fit to play for Nigeria national team. According to Ovi, he is saying all the 3 countries have called on him to come and play for them. That is England, a country where he was born, and Nigeria, a country where his father is from, and Uganda, a country where his mother is from. So these are the latest coming in from the new goalkeeper who thinks he's ready to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Ovi Ejeyi AJ, his name is quite controversial, so just pardon me for the pronunciation. Before I go to the exact words of what he spoke about in featuring for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, as in pledging his international future to Nigeria, let's look at a brief successes of who he is. Currently, he plays for Midland. He joined Midland, I think, last season and is currently performing. So far, so good. He's not quite bad, but looking at his appearances, 3 games, 3 starts, minutes per game is 91, and looking at his total minutes played, 243 as a goalkeeper. Team of the week, 0. In terms of the goalkeeping department, he has considered 22.7 goals per game. Penalties saved, that is 1 out of 1. Saves per game, 5.7, representing 68%. Success in terms of runs out per game, that is 0.0, which is 0%. Goals conceded, 8. Considered from inside box, 8. So all the goals considered by Ovi are inside the box. Goals considered outside the box, 0. Saves, 17. Saves from inside box, 12. Saves from outside box, 4. Saves caught, 0. Saves parried, 3. So these are quite things that you have to know about Ovi Ejerehi. The successes of the season so far, so good for him, as he has declared his full allegiance to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Let's have a glance of what he has to say in playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But he started from somewhere, how he got lured by Germany, how he got lured by England, Uganda, and Nigeria. He started by saying, yeah, all 3 countries invited me. That is, the invitation to England was a goalkeeper's camp like 5 or 6 years ago. That is somewhere around 2020, 2019. So these are the exact words of Ovi Ejerehi. It was a good camp. I liked it. Uganda as well, of course, and Nigeria as well have called me to. He proceeded by saying, I think I am a person that don't really think too hard on things. I just know that whatever I want to do, I will just do it, to be honest. So these are the exact words of Ovi. He continued by saying, I know my heritage. I know I am from those countries, and I know what it would mean to my mom's side of the family or my dad's side of the family for me to play for Uganda or Nigeria. But ultimately, the decision is mine, and I'm fine with that. Nigeria for sure. I think for me, Nigeria is the team I have always wanted to play for. Let me just reiterate. Nigeria for sure. I think for me, Nigeria is the team I have always wanted to play for. All right, let's continue. There were times my dad would say I had to play for Nigeria and all that, but in the end, he couldn't force me. I know for sure that I want to play for the Super Eagles. When it comes to goalkeepers, I look up to, I would say, Vincent Enyama, of course. We all know former goalkeeper of the Super Eagles, the legendary Vincent Enyama. He is the one I have personally watched, but my dad always talks about Peter Rufai, another super fantastic legend. So he's another one I admire. So these are the exact words of Nigeria Super Eagles newbie, a player born in England to a Nigerian father and Ugandan mother, is ready to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, as he has declared his full readiness, as in pledging his international future for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And that is it from the camp of the latest coming in from Nigeria sports and Nigeria football. You can drop your prediction of the game, that is the Super Eagles versus Bonaya, in the comment box. Subsequently, I'll give you shout out. But pardon me for this very update. I will do that in my subsequent videos. I was being supported by my hardworking chief editor, Emmanuel Kwame Asiedu, and my amazing graphic designer, Dominic. Let's meet in the next one. It's bye for now.